A CE-5 Handbook, an easy-to-use guide to help you contact extraterrestrial life. Part 1, Introduction to CE-5. What is a CE-5? CE-5 is an acronym for Close Encounters of the Fifth Kind. A close encounters is a term invented by Dr. J. Allen Hynek, who studied unidentified flying objects, UFOs, with the U.S. Air Force between the years of 1947 and 1969. The original Hynek classification system of close encounters had 3 types, with subsequent researchers adding to the list. Close encounters can be broadly divided into 2 groups. The first 4 kinds of contact, CE-1, 2, 3, and 4, are all where an encounter with a UFO or extraterrestrial is passive in nature. It is either accidental or indirect, or where ETs initiate the encounter. If it happens, it is often outside of our control. A CE-5, on the other hand, is where humans actively initiate contact, and where we sustain peaceful, bilateral communication with ETs. What does a CE-5 look like? It could look like many things, but much of the time, a CE-5 is where one person or several people gather together to meditate and send a message to our ET friends. Internal and external messages are received back. CE-5s are most often done in the field under the stars to allow for multiple eyewitness sightings of UFOs. When Hynek commenced his study of UFOs, he was very skeptical. But as he studied the topic, he became convinced that not all UFOs could be explained away. By the end of his years of research, he made this bold statement regarding extraterrestrial intelligence, ETI, and extra-dimensional intelligence, EDI. There is sufficient evidence to defend both. Welcome to a CE-5 Handbook. It is our intention to provide an easy-to-follow and practical guidebook that you can take with you into the field to make contact with our star family. Why make contact? You might be surprised to learn that the purpose of communicating with extraterrestrials is not about getting a visual sighting or endeavoring to save the world. This extraordinary dialogue is really about the gift of the expansion of your own consciousness. In this context, seeing craft or harnessing free energy is irrelevant. But, as a matter of course, these outcomes will naturally manifest as a byproduct of our evolution. Each of you has your own unique path to finding the larger you. Pick and choose from amongst the techniques here, and may they spark your inspiration to create your own recipes for contact. We hope you enjoy creating abundant, exciting, and uplifting experiences with our ET friends. Consciousness expansion is fun. Have fun. CE-5 History. CE-5 contact protocols were co-created by Dr. Stephen Greer and several extraterrestrials in 1973. The beings shared with Greer the importance of teaching this protocol to humans, which he started to do in earnest a few decades later. Human-initiated contact does exist outside the protocol that was imparted to him. Some examples. Throughout history, shamans of indigenous cultures the world over have a fluid connection to ET. On March 15, 1954, a group of seekers sent a telepathic message into space, designating the day as World Contact Day. They have held many sessions since and attribute a spike in UFO sightings on that day to the event. In the 60s, groups of hippies in the US and the UK sent and received messages from ET. In 1974, Sixto Paz Wells and the Peruvian group Rama started sending and receiving communication, including inviting international press to confirm and report multiple witness UFO sightings that were scheduled ahead of time. Dr. Greer founded the group CSETI, Center for the Study of Extraterrestrial Intelligence, in 1990. Over many years with Dr. Greer implementing and teaching the contact protocols through that group, and through Costa Macris's unifying organization, the People's Disclosure Movement, the name CE-5 has spread around the world. Many diverse groups make contact either inspired by CE-5 or in their own way. While no one knows exactly how many individuals or groups regularly participate in CE-5 around the world, it's estimated to be in the thousands and growing. The original protocol involves connection to one mind consciousness and remote viewing to visualize vectoring in ET to your location to show them where you are. Tones that were recorded at other sightings and crop circles are played, and astronomy lasers and types of equipment are used. Dr. Greer would be the first person to say you don't have to do CE-5 by his interpretation and design. Following someone else's direction to a T has nothing to do with whether you will make contact or not. You'll make contact when you're ready, in your own way. The most important thing to take from this document is that the best protocol is discovered when you follow your own guidance and make it your own. Sixto and Costa are cool names. I want to know more about them. See who's in the zoo at the back of this document for bios of major CE-5 figures. Whom are we contacting? ETs, celestial beings, spirits, energetic entities? Old paradigms would assume we are contacting physical aliens flying physical craft. This may be true. Some ETs may be physical beings in the way we understand 3D reality. Now, however, we can logically deduce from the sightings, experiences, and phenomena witnessed in the history of ufology that many, if not all ET, have interdimensional capabilities. They may associate with or even be non-physical beings of spirit or source. Whatever the case, we know we are contacting benevolent beings who are predominantly interested in humanity's consciousness expansion, and the most important thing they bring to our dialogue is love. How do we know this? Because our internal and external experiences have all been positive, and we do not get sightings unless we ourselves come from a place of love. What if you're wrong? If we are not communicating with benevolent entities of some sort, then the only explanation for our experience is that, individually or as a group, humans have the ability to manifest into reality what we want or what we expect. What would be the meaning of it all if this was the case? That we cannot manifest these incredible results without love, and that we are just figuring out our potential. That's just as cool. Our Calgary CE-5 story. In 2013, a friend and I watched the documentary Sirius. We were so excited we formed a CE-5 group. Our first time out was a summer day with a clear blue sky, save for one small bunch of clouds, which I pointed out to the group. Doesn't that look like the word high? We all laughed and went back to our meditation. We should have taken a picture. I now believe that was a subtle welcome from our star friends. For 3 years, we had internal experiences. Sometimes an individual would see some anomalous phenomena. We were frustrated that we weren't having multiple witness sightings. Then a few of us went down to Mount Shasta to a retreat put on by the wonderful Costa Macris. What an astonishing contact experience. When we returned, we knew better what to look for in the skies above. Since then, the last year has been a wonderful showing of, in order of increasing undeniability, many alleged meteorites, the main anomaly of these being the large numbers of them, especially given that our nights are not on meteor shower nights. Many alleged satellites, some of these twinkle, flash, and or flare. Anomalous shimmering colors in the Pleiades star cluster. A light brighter than the planet, which appeared through a cloud. When the cloud dissipated, the light was gone. Multitudes of flash bulbs and sets of flash bulbs. Small flashes of light like a camera flash, and you can refer to the glossary for other new terms. Twice we observed over 50 in a row traversing across the sky. 4 very bright, low-flying lights, one low enough to pass through and illuminate a cloud. We watched them both slow down to almost a stop at the edge of the horizon. A large orb that slowly floated down from the sky like a feather falling to the ground. A very bright light that moved, stopped again, and then zipped away. We're really excited to see what's next. Those 3 dry years were necessary for us. We had a lot of growing to do before we were ready to have visual sightings. Do not think that it will take long for you to see something. As of late, sightings have been more frequent and easier to access. Now people who find us have sightings on their first night in the field. If you implement the recommendations in this workbook, we believe you too will have a sighting within 6 outings. Celia and the CE-5 group in Calgary. Key elements. Whether you follow the original CSETI protocols is up to you. Whatever you do, there are 3 key elements that are required to make contact. Number 1, connection to a one-mind consciousness. 2, a sincere heart. And 3, clear intention. 1, connection to a one-mind consciousness. You'll need to connect to Source both in your daily life and during CE-5s. If leading a group, you'll encourage others to access the state of oneness with all that is. Here are some techniques to teach yourself and others how to access Universal One. Start with an awareness of your own consciousness and spread it out from you, joining in with the consciousness of everyone and everything near you, the grass, the trees, the others in your group, people in neighborhoods nearby, people driving on the roads. Allow your awareness to expand into theirs and imagine what they are feeling and sensing as they go through their lives. Detach yourself from your individual consciousness. See yourself from a bird's eye view. Be the greater consciousness beyond the individual. Watch yourself from above. Name yourself. There's Jason, sitting there with this group. He looks like he's having fun. Expand the boundary of who you are so far and wide that your whole body encapsulates the entire universe. You are the universe. All the stars, galaxies, nebulae, and planets all exist within your arms, legs, torso, and head. Visualize the activity of stars being born and dying, life on other planets, the grand movements of our solar systems, and include intergalactic space traffic. Know that there is no such thing as past and future. All is now. If all is now and every moment is happening simultaneously, and if reincarnation is real, then would it not be possible that every person you meet is a version of yourself living a different life? Imagine what it's like to be the other people in your group. Imagine when you gaze at them, what you are looking into a mirror at that very moment. Visualize yourself connected to all. Do invisible threads connect you from heart to heart? A cord at your solar plexus? See the extension of yourself connecting with all other life forms in an interconnected network of light. Hold in your mind the knowledge that energy never dies, that every action connects you to the world and everyone around you. Think about the butterfly effect. Remember that if you did not exist, none of this could exist. Really, you are an integral part of the whole. Know that you are part of God, Source, Cosmos, Universe, all that is, Creator. What do you see or feel looking through your own eyes, knowing that? How would it feel to be God, or etc., looking through your eyes? Just be. Get quiet and let any thoughts that arise simply float away. Breathe. Slip into the void. Appreciate and feel the love. It is very helpful for your CE-5 practice to connect to one consciousness on a regular basis in order to become more adept at accessing this state of mind. If you don't get the hang of these techniques, don't sweat it. We know some people who struggle with meditating and visualization, yet their kind, humble, and thankful spirits connect them to one mind consciousness in a steadfast way that perhaps eclipses periodic conscious intent. 2. A sincere heart. Approaching this with a loving connection, nothing to prove, genuine. 3. Clear intention. Why are you doing this? To facilitate your growth, to allow and receive healings, to uplift humanity, a diplomatic initiative, to fuel yourself, give yourself hope, to receive the gift of visual sightings, confirmation that we are not alone, documentation of evidence, a request for cosmic intervention, to show willingness and readiness for the next step of contact, to move faster towards free energy devices and freedom for humanity, to help stabilize and give harmony to the earth, to put action towards making a better world for our children, to have fun, etc., etc. Clarify your intention before you start, and clarify it as you go along. It may change as you change, either during a CE-5 or through your daily life. You can have several intentions running at the same time. Intentions during a CE-5. As you start the CE-5, set the intention for the night with your group as a part of your opening. You can go around and ask people to share their unique intention, or you can ask a few volunteers to speak up and provide a group intention that everyone can agree on. During the contact work, you can also shift or add things as you go along. For example, if you have a sighting of an alleged satellite, as a group, you can put your minds and hearts together and request that it change direction or power up, or for a craft to come closer. If clouds are in the way, you can try a cloud bursting activity together. Or you can ask for the mosquitoes to go away or for your group to feel warmer. You may want to do a group healing for someone there. Putting an intention out there as a group amplifies the intention exponentially. To learn more about this, refer to the scientifically validated studies done on how TM, Transcendental Meditation, reduces urban crime rates by up to 70%. When you conclude your fieldwork, set some intentions for the time following the CE-5, reminding each other to keep your eyes and other senses open for potential communication on the drive home, in the dream state, and in the days that follow. What's a power-up? For a definition for this and other unfamiliar terms, check out the glossary at the back. Other helpful elements. The first 3 ingredients for contact are basic principles that come from Dr. Greer's experience. Here are some additional components to increase contact that come from our know-how. Vibration, coherence and cohesion, and belief. Good vibrations. If we expect that the whole of reality operates along a vibrational hierarchy, with higher and lower energetic densities, dimensional, or states of consciousness spanning a vast continuum, we recognize that ETs, ascended masters, angelic beings, and other sentient entities occupy a vibrational realm higher than our limited 3D material world. As they vibrate at a higher rate than us humans, they exist outside our natural range of perception. In a way, we are blind to the vast portion of the cosmic wilderness. But we're not completely stuck. The good news is that we are also eternal, multidimensional beings. If we can manage to accelerate our own vibrational frequency, endeavoring to elevate or match our own energetic vibrations to that of the ETs, we stand a greater chance of actually seeing each other and making a real and tangible connection. Lisa Royal Holt refers to this desirable state as the common ground. How to raise your vibration. During a CE-5, your energetic frequency can be heightened in a number of ways. Be aware of your etheric body, your higher self, and all aspects of yourself beyond the 3D. Be playful. ETs will be playful with you, so join the fun. Keep the mood of the CE-5 light and happy. Relax. You may or may not see something on your next CE-5, but you will have the growth. Appreciation is the fastest way to raise your vibration. Be thankful for your company, the night, the stars, infinity, life, cool laser pointers. Be yourself. You're surrounded by mutual kooks, so go ahead and let loose a little. Get sleepy. Enter into the theta brainwave state. In preparation for CE-5, meditate as a group or individually. Also, in general, meditate a lot. Remind everyone that we're not just physical beings, but that we're eternal, spiritual beings with many aspects of self. The more we expand our awareness, the more we'll be able to perceive with the universal sight and experience more phenomena. Expect it to happen. You are an infinite eternal being, and you will have contact, sooner or later. Yet be chill. Try not to be disappointed or discouraged if nothing seemingly happens today. Prefer the experience, but do not need it. Raising your vibration can be as simple as living from the heart. Choose love. In life, we have a choice between a love of thought or a thought of fear. Fear is the energy which contracts, closes down, draws in, runs, hides, hoards, harms. Love is the energy which expands, opens up, sends out, stays, reveals, shares, and heals. Fear wraps our bodies in clothing. Love allows us to stand naked. Fear clings to us and clutches all that we have, and love gives all that we have away. Fear holds close, love holds dear. Fear grasps, love lets go. Fear rankles, love soothes. Fear attacks, love amends. Every human thought, word, or deed is based in one emotion or the other. You have no choice about this because there is nothing else from which to choose, but you have free choice about which of these to select. That's from Conversations with God by Neil Donald Walsh. As you raise your own vibration and the vibration of the group, know that you are influencing the world and the universe. Imagine this happening on a large scale, where our brain waves are the vibration beaming from the planet, reaching and connecting with beings of higher consciousness. Another quote. In a room full of string instruments, one strong vibrating string is all that is necessary to make all the others begin to vibrate in harmony. You can try this experiment on a small scale by taking two guitars and placing them in one room near each other. Strike the string of any note on one guitar, and the other will begin to vibrate also, without being touched. Number 2, group coherence and cohesion. The level of contact experienced by a group will often be proportionate to the coherency and cohesion of the team effort. Coherence involves shared and common values, intent, and goals. Everyone in the group is basically on the same page as to what they're doing and why they're there. There are no mixed messages. ETs will be more receptive and capable, on a vibratory, energetic level, of responding and interacting with groups that are unified in their intent and message, and who can elevate their own frequency by collectively projecting a strong sense of peace, love, goodwill, and kindness. Let these good vibes and intentions generously flow out from your group and into the cosmos. The ETs will be able to pick up on this and respond in kind. Cohesion has to do with how well a team functions together as a unit. If your group lacks organization, a sense of order, or there's internal conflict or tension, the contact outcome may suffer. Assume the ETs will remotely scan your team and see what's up. If they sense discord, negativity, an unpleasant vibe, or a team that operates in a sloppy, clumsy, and unprepared manner, they may be reluctant to approach. In fact, from a vibrational perspective, they may not even be capable of approaching. Contact groups that demonstrate good teamwork, cooperation, collaboration, integrity, and mutual respect while protecting a strong sense of love, harmony, peace, and goodwill will naturally enjoy greater success. Try to assemble and nurture a team that operates smoothly and effectively as one happy family. This may take time, patience, and numerous contact outings, but deeper and more satisfying levels of contact will result. How to enhance both cohesion and coherence. Provide preliminary information for newcomers before the fieldwork. New people need to know what to expect. Give them this handbook. Integrate new people with a genuine sense of welcome and warmth. If you have a large group, ask everyone to wear name tags. You could introduce fun icebreaker activities if there are new additions to the group. When you start a CE-5, set aside some time to be with each other before setting eyes on the skies, easier before dark sets in. Ask each other questions, get to know each other, and try to listen as much as talk. Be loving and tolerant. Smiles and hugs. Break bread together. Before the fieldwork or between contact events, potlucks have really helped our group coherence. Accept other people's experiences and perception of reality, no matter how wacky it might sound. Try to be genuinely excited when others have a sighting or an interesting experience, even if you feel envious. Take group photos, but respect those who may wish to keep their identities private. Open and close the fieldwork while holding hands. Connect your energy together. Keep it short if it's cold or if there are mosquitoes. As part of your contact event, depending on the location, consider doing some local sightseeing together as a group. Add some additional adventures. Teamwork and leadership. Teamwork is a very important component of cohesion. It seems that an increase in sightings is correlated when people share the work. Everyone can contribute in some way. Being an effective leader that can facilitate this is important. I have to admit I found leadership daunting at first. It's a good place to grow. Mark Koporowski of CE-5 Tokyo is a directive leader that I am taking notes from. He has contributed significantly to this document, and I appreciate his years of experience and wisdom. Here are some of his actions for teamwork and cohesion. Divide the labor and assign team roles. Example, field site coordinator, photographer, videographer, laser pointer, sage stick, incense, sound recorder, binoculars, celestial events advisor, site security, and make sure everyone knows what they're doing, when they're doing it, and how to do it. Try to make everyone feel like they're part of the team by giving them a role or task, no matter how small. Even if that means having 10 photographers with nothing more than an iPhone, fine. You can also assign multiple roles to one person if your group is on the small side. To maintain a sense of unity and group cohesion, ideally there should only be one conversation happening at a time during the fieldwork. If someone has something to contribute, they should speak in a voice loud enough for everyone to hear. Except during breaks, avoid private conversations if possible. To balance out the masculine and feminine energy, male and female members should be seated in an alternate fashion in the contact circle, man, woman, etc. I have a more laissez-faire leadership style. I know I have work to do with being a little more assertive. Here are the tips I've gathered along the way. Gently keep big talkers in check and encourage small talkers. Make sure you aren't one of the over-talkers. Extroverted leaders often have this blind spot. Keep tabs on and follow the will of the group. Work on gaining confidence as a leader and pushing through insecurities. Ask people where they want to go, what they want to do. Give choices. Sometimes open-ended questions are too open-ended. When someone makes a suggestion, run with it. If it's not workable, incorporate it another time. Ask if anyone would like to pick, lead a meditation, run equipment, ring a bell, etc. Remind the group that teamwork is part of the cohesion that brings sightings. If they are shy to partake, that's okay. Just don't take on too much yourself to keep yourself from getting overwhelmed or resentful. You don't have to run a perfect meeting with all the bells and whistles. Growth and sightings do happen with very simple agendas and no equipment. As leader, you have to make sure you're enjoying this and vibrating at a high frequency. So only take on as much as you can happily handle. A word on drugs, alcohol, and weapons. Mark's perspective. The use or possession of alcohol, drugs, or weapons in the context of CE-5 is generally discouraged. Just as you would not use or take drugs or weapons to a high-level diplomatic meeting at the UN, you would not take or use them at a contact event involving interstellar guests. As ambassadors to the universe, a clear sense of decorum, good manners, respect, and basic professionalism all need to be observed if one's intended goal is establishing contact and communication. Realize that ETs will be able to remotely scan your group and immediately know if anyone is intoxicated or high, or a potential danger or threat. Those under the influence will naturally lose a certain degree of self-control physically, mentally, emotionally, and with safety in mind, you can be pretty sure that the ETs will not approach, at least not too closely. And if the goal of contact work is sharing and disclosing your amazing otherworldly experiences and adventures to friends, family, or the public, just how credible will you sound if you or others are intoxicated or tripping out at the time? As citizen diplomats, we ought to do everything we can to create a positive, welcoming, and safe space for our galactic visitors. This means entering the field fully aware, alert, sober, and weapon-free. And from a purely vibrational perspective, drugs will likely mess up your energy field in lower frequency, and this could make you target for negative or self-to-service entities. That's one reason why James Gilliland forbids drugs of any kind at his ranch. I agree with Mark. We've never had anyone attracted to our group who partakes in intoxicants during contact, as far as I know. I can't imagine it being helpful in any spiritual or scientific matters. Perhaps an exception would be if you were using a substance in a sacred way as medicine, and or a shaman is overseeing you. As a bit of an anarchist, I say, chacun son gout, to each his own, a la high school French. In your own life experiment, you will discover if intoxicants are helpful or obstructing when making contact / expanding your consciousness. As the leader, you may choose if you will allow it or not. As far as weapons go, Canada is pretty much gun-free, comparatively, so I can't even begin to imagine anyone bringing one to a CE-5. Number 3, believing equals seeing. A major barrier to sightings is our dependence on physical proof. Different sources tell us over and over that we create our own reality, and that our inner world must transform before we see external results. UFO sightings are a perfect example of this. For the most part, one's level of belief is highly correlated with how many proofs a person gets. It's a funny little paradox. Everything flows to you when you don't even need it anymore. Ha ha, funny, right? A belief is just a thought you keep having over and over. Try these. It could be possible. The world / reality / I might be much more than what we were taught. We are evolving and the future is unknown. Others have seen UFOs. I might see a UFO. You may hear about the odd person who has a big sighting and who is still very skeptical. Their role as a skeptical witness has its own unique purpose in the disclosure process. Another scenario is that sometimes people get initiated with a stunning encounter that is purposefully designed to get them moving in this direction. That can be very frustrating if they aren't ready to receive communication consistently. They then have to join the rest of us as we raise our vibration and do the basic work of releasing our grip on conventional reality and our limited ideas about ourselves. If you are skeptical and experimenting with this, then you may want to have a few people join you who are so deep in belief that you question their sanity. Foster your relationship with them. They are magnets for sightings. Keep being scientific, but don't miss out on having these endearing and loving people with you. Plus, being tolerant of different paradigms is good for your growth. As you consort with them, stay true to your own paradigm and trust your own judgment. I'm noticing some nutty stuff in here. Do I have to believe in chakras, vortexes, or crystals? I want to believe in UFOs, not New Age stuff. Of course, you don't have to wear tie-dye and chant mantras to expand your consciousness and have sightings. However, if you are more science-minded, be forewarned that some of this document will not resonate for you. The CE-5 world is naturally spiritually themed. Take what works for you and discard the rest. Remember, human-initiated ET contact is comprised of 3 ingredients. 1, connection to one-mind consciousness. 2, a sincere heart. And 3, clear intention. Here's another quote from Neil Donald Walsh. "The day that I stop having doubts is the day that I become dangerous." Here's a tip. Trading stories during a CE-5 is a great tool for solidifying belief. It puts you in the right headspace for contact. Playing crop circle tones before the event, as according to original CE-5 protocol, is also helpful, reminding us that there are lots of unexplainable phenomena out there that have been witnessed by many and recorded for study. You can find the tones on the ET Contact Tool app or on YouTube. There's a link in the book.
A big thank you to Graham of The Grimerica Show. That is a podcast worth listening to, and the link is in the description. Graham and Darren, his co-host, go over a variety of existential, edge of consciousness, paranormal, and other explorations of the human experience, and they are very funny to boot. So go check that out. And if you are interested in listening to part 2 on YouTube of a CE-5 handbook, then the link is in the description as well. Will be at the end of the video after I'm done talking so much. And if you're one of those lucky souls that has time to read, then you can go to CE5handbook.com to grab yourself a physical copy, and there as well you can get a free PDF if that is your jam. If you believe in this cause and that contact with highly evolved beings will benefit ourselves and the planet, then click like and the subscription button, and that will help others gain access to this work. Any proceeds that we get will go towards running the channel, as well as funneling some funds to people who are working tirelessly for free, of which I know many in the CE-5 community, so it would be nice to help those people out. And if you're interested in learning more about human-initiated ET contact, then go to the ET Contact Hub, where you can find all kinds of different resources from people all over the world who share their own processes and experiences. Please leave a comment below if you have any questions or anything to share, and I hope that you go out and enjoy the thrilling experience of making contact.